Hey guys, Joanne Wingrove here, and I am a realtor in Delaware. I'm licensed in all of Delaware, but I'm based out of Kent County. So, I am here today because I am looking for buyers, sellers, and landlords. I want to get more houses on the market, and I want to get more buyers to be able to buy these homes. So right now we are in such a weird place in the market where we have a buyer's and seller's market. Now some of you ask, how do we have a buyer's and seller's market at the same time? Well, the market is in flux with tons of buyers right now. So of course it's a seller's market. That's pretty obvious right now. But the interest rates are also so low. So what more of a better time to buy a home? Hence the buyer's market as well. So today I'm going to talk about some things you want to think about when buying a home, and hopefully that'll make you decide whether you're ready to buy or not. And I'll give you some tips on that. So Rocket Mortgage produced a 12-step process on how to buy a home. Now, I love what they say, but I wish they expanded a little bit more, so that's what this video is going to be today. Now, I will tell you, when you're looking to finance, please look for a local lender because they know the laws in Delaware. Anyways, so step number 1, decide when you're ready to buy a home. So some things you want to think about is, when is your lease up? Do you have a home to sell? How long is it going to prepare for you to put it on the market? Because that is something you want to think about. You don't necessarily want to start looking at homes until your house is ready and on the market. Because if you have to make your home contingent on your house sale, the home you're going to buy, then that's going to take a big play. And in the contract, we're required to put how many days until your house is on the market. So that is step number 1. You also want to think about, like, are there any things going on medically with you? Like, do you have any surgeries coming up? Make sure you don't have your home buying and selling process at the same time. Or if you're ready right now, think about what is stopping you. Is it your credit score? Have you talked to anybody about how to boost your credit score? Things like that. Number 2, calculate how much house you can afford. So when you think about how much house you can afford, think about what are some non-negotiables in your budget. Like food, gas, do you have any other bills? What are some things that are going to prevent your buying power? Of course, this is going to be something you talk to your lender about, where they'll do your debt to income ratio and your total housing income ratio. But as a couple, think about what you're comfortable affording. If you're single, think about what you're comfortable affording without a roommate, without anyone's help. Or if you have a roommate, talk to them about what you're comfortable affording or what you think you can afford. And then, of course, once you talk to your lender, they'll talk to you a little bit more. So step number 3, save a down payment and closing costs. So guys, I cannot stress enough that you want to save for your down payment and closing costs, because if you don't have a down payment and closing costs, it's going to be a little bit harder to buy in this market. Yes, there is no money down at USDA loans, but there are very specific houses that you have to go for, and you have to go for in a rural area. You also want to make sure that you have a down payment and closing costs, because you can get Delaware State Housing Authority, aka DSHA, to help with your down payment assistance. Yes, those are great options. I'm not going to say that don't buy a house if you don't have it, but realize that everything you get comes with another result. So if you get DSHA, your interest rate's going to be a little bit higher depending on how much you actually borrow from them, for your down payment. Now, yes, there is seller's help. You can ask for seller's help. And I'm going to do another video on what's going on in the market and what's a good offer, what's an ideal offer, because I've been getting this question a lot. And the truth is, Some people are losing houses because of seller's help. There's a lot of things going on with the market as to why people are not winning the home, but one of the factors is seller's help. You know, you can ask for 1 to 6% seller's help, but the truth is, guys, that not everybody can ask for 6%, and in today's market it really isn't ideal, but I'll talk about that in another video. So if you have your down payment and closing cost, you are at a win because you can go in with your offer strong without having to ask for seller's assist. I'm sorry that you guys hear my little dog in the background. So the fourth step, get pre-approved for a mortgage. This is where you would talk to your lender at this point. So you've already in your mind thought about, or talked to your significant other, or talked to your roommate about how much house you feel comfortable affording, you know, and your closing costs and down payment. So at that point, you should also be thinking about where exactly you want to live. They did forget that in this list. But, you know, so you would get pre-approved for your mortgage. So you talk to your lender. I recommend a local lender because they know the laws. And I've got tons of lenders I work with that my clients have had a great experience. And when you have an awesome lender, guys, you have great communication between the realtor and the lender. That way there's no miscommunication. This process is very tedious, and if we miss one timeline, it can delay closing. And I'm not about delaying closing. I've only had a closing delayed once, and that's because we could not get insurance on a home. And all of a sudden, we had a structural engineer report that needed to come out that we didn't see it sooner. But that's okay. You know, we got everything set and everything ended up closing. I like going to the closing table. I know you like going to the closing table, so we'll do what we have to make it happen. So work with a great reputable lender, preferably local, because they know our laws. So number 5, find the right real estate agent. So if you saw my last video, which I hope you did, and I hope you liked and subscribed to this channel, I hope that you would choose me as your real estate agent, because I would sit down with you, talk to you about what is it that you're looking for, what type of home you're looking for, where you're looking for, what budget you're comfortable with. And from there, we'll narrow down your search. And then once I get that pre-approval letter, we will start looking at homes, guys. So number 6, begin the house hunting. That's the fun part. That's the part where we get to go look at houses, see what you like and what you don't like. Of course, at this point, we had your game plan of what you think you like, but sometimes when you go into a home, you realize, oh, I like that feature and I would like that instead. You know, you change your mind a little bit, and that's okay, but please communicate that with your realtor so they know. You know, I had somebody who told me she didn't want to live anywhere in a development. But then, like, as I was showing her houses, she was like, well, I don't want a septic. And I'm like, we're in Delaware. It's unless you're in city limits or in a development, most likely you're going to have septic. You know, and she wasn't from the area, so there was that. The next one is going to be, you're going to make an offer on a house. So that is a great time for you and your realtor to talk about what you're comfortable offering. You know, what are some things that you need before you make an offer. So you'll need your pre-approval letter, which if you're working with me, I'm already in communications with your lender and getting that I have that pre-approval letter. Then we would have to make sure to talk about what you want to offer. Is it, you know, is it what you're comfortable with? Do you need seller's help? Do you have a must-sell contingency? What's the time frame of you wanting to buy a home? what's the date you'd like to close on? Is there a preferred date? And also you want to think about with your offer what kind of financing you're going to have. So that is something you want to talk about before putting the offer. Number 8, you want to make sure you do a home inspection. A home inspection is to keep you protected. So that is part of your offer. You would put a home inspection contingency. Of course, if you have financing, there'll be a financing contingency. So that's something you would have to do. You know, when you do your home inspection, it keeps you safe. You know what you're getting yourself into. You know what are some things you might need to repair sooner rather than later, or some things you'll be asking for repairs as a negotiation to your offer. The next thing is get a home appraisal. So if you are financing your home, you want to make sure you get an appraisal. An appraisal is where an appraiser or a third party goes out and sets the value of the home. So some people, for example, get a home and let's just say you spend $200,000 and it comes back at $210,000. Well, you have $10,000 equity in your house, which means surplus. Now, if you offer $200,000 and it's $190,000, you will have to talk to your realtor about what's your next steps. Would you bring $10,000 to the table, or would you try to renegotiate the offer at that point? Because if you are financing it, they're not going to finance more than what the value is. So the next thing, number 10, you would ask for repairs or credit. So at this point, you have already done your home inspection. So you know what are some things that might need to be repaired. At that point, would you ask for credit, where you'll get a contractor to do it later, or you can ask them to do it and they will actually get a contractor to do it and provide receipts for proof. Then number 11, you would do your final walkthrough. So we do this to make sure that the house is still in the same condition we agreed to on the offer. So you want to make sure things are not taken. So like if you agree on leaving blinds in the house, that the blinds stay there, you know, things like that. Make sure there's no holes in the walls, and a little bit of just going through the house and making sure that nothing is wrong, that all the repairs are done. Hopefully you have done a after inspection walkthrough, so or a re-inspection to verify that the things you had asked for repairs are complete. But if not, you would catch them in the final walkthrough. Then number 12, you close on their home. So this is where you would get your keys, and congratulations, you are a homeowner. So at this point, you know, the for sale will come out, sign will come off, or it might come off before the lockbox will come off, and it is officially your home. So congratulations, guys. That's just the first few steps on how to buy a home. And my next video is going to be some tips how to prepare you when you're selling a home. Alright guys, so this is Joanne Wingrove again with Welcome Home Realty from Delaware. I'll see you guys soon.